Welcome to Database Schema Check. This is the surgical database repair tool for ComusTumbz, the page where your install compares its actual MySQL schema against the schema the latest release expects, then either tells you everything matches or shows you exactly what is missing and what has drifted, with one click to bring it back in line. Why does drift happen? An older script update partially failed. You restored from a backup that predates a schema change. You migrated to a new host without all the indexes. Or, and this is one this release now catches, a column type was supposed to widen, but your installs column is still on the old narrower type. The symptom is the same. Pages start throwing MySQL errors or queries slow because the new index is missing. Schema check fixes drift in one place. Conservative by default. Never drops anything. Never narrows a column. Never tightens a constraint. Safe additions and safe widenings auto-apply. Risky changes are reported with the exact SQL for you to review and apply manually if you choose. To open domain.com/ct/admin/schema_check.php or from the Tools menu, choose Database Schema Check. How the comparison works. The license server publishes a signed manifest with every release. Inside is a DB_schema block. A complete description of every table, every column with type and nullability and default and collation, every index by name with its column list. The page fetches the manifest, verifies the signature, queries your local information_schema, builds the same shape and diffs them. What the page never reports. Extra tables, extra columns, extra indexes. Your install is allowed to have local additions, and schema check leaves them alone. The diff is one way on purpose. The current state card always renders, shows your local database name, the manifest version, the release channel, the manifest database name, the table count, and the manifest SHA-256. If the manifest fetch fails, license error, network error, signature failure, only the local database row appears, and the next card down is the error card. Fix the underlying cause and reload. Drift categories. When drift is detected, 6 stat cards summarize the situation. Missing tables, columns, and indexes. Pieces the manifest expects that your local database does not have. Added on apply via create table, add column, and add key. Safe type changes. Columns whose type, nullability, default, or collation differs in a safely widening direction. Examples: a VARCHAR, widening from 32 to 128, an int widening to big int, not null relaxing to null, a default value changing, a collation upgrade. None of these can truncate or corrupt data, so they auto-apply alongside the missing pieces. Unsafe type drift, column changes that risk data loss, varchar narrowing, int narrowing, null tightening to not null, type category changes, sign changes between signed and unsigned. Reported but never auto-applied unless you opt in. Visible drift, engine and table level collation differences. Reported gray, never auto-fixed because converting MySam to InnoDB is a one-way decision and changing collation re-encodes every row. The itemized cards. For each non-empty drift category, an itemized card appears below the stats. Missing tables. 1 entry per table with a column and index summary, and a show SQL toggle revealing the exact create table statement, all using if not exists. Missing columns. Grouped by table, 1 alter table add column if not exists per missing column. Missing indexes. Grouped by table, 1 alter table add key or add unique key per missing index. Indexes match by name only. If you have a custom index on the same columns under a different name, schema check reports the manifest name as missing and adds it. You end up with 2 functionally identical indexes. Drop the old one by hand if you care. Safe type changes, green pen icon. Each row shows the table and column name, the specific fields that drifted with old and new values. For example, type : varchar, of 32 arrow varchar of 128. In the exact modified column statement that auto-apply will run, read these to confirm. Unsafe type drift, yellow warning icon. Each row shows the table and column name, a per-reason explanation of why it is flagged unsafe, and the exact modified column statement ready to copy into phpMyAdmin if you choose to apply manually. By default, apply skips these. The apply card. At the bottom of the drift block is a green apply all button. If unsafe drift exists, an opt-in checkbox appears above the button. Also apply unsafe type drift. I have reviewed the SQL above. Off by default. Tick it only after reading every entry in the unsafe type drift card and confirming each is safe for your data. Once ticked, modify column runs for those entries too. Irreversible if a change truncates data. Click Apply All. The handler validates CSRF, acquires the shared updater lock, refetches and re-verifies the manifest, recomputes the diff, ensures the bookkeeping tables exist, auto-creating them on legacy installs that predate the updater system, and walks the diff. This release coalesces every change for the same table into one alter statement with algorithm equals in-place comma lock equals none instead of one alter per missing piece. On a 600,000 row table, that is the difference between minutes and timeouts. If MariaDB rejects in-place for an operation, the engine retries without the algorithm hint and lets MariaDB pick its own. The audit row closes with a count of tables, columns, indexes, and modified columns. Lock releases, page redirects with a green flash banner. Reload and the drift block is gone, replaced by the green in sync banner. Run from command line. For installs with very large tables, the web apply may exceed proxy timeouts even with in-place coalescing. CLI mode bypasses the web stack entirely. PHP schema underscore check dot PHP dash check. Show drift without changing anything. PHP schema underscore check dot PHP dash apply. Run the safe sync. PHP schema underscore check dot PHP dash apply dash include dash unsafe. Also apply flagged unsafe drift after you have reviewed. PHP schema underscore check dot PHP dash force dash unlock. Clear a stale lock. The run from command line card shows the exact path. Run as the user that owns the install. CLI prints one line per alter as it streams. No time limit, no proxy timeout. When to run it. Safe to load any time. Fetch, verify, and diff are read only. Apply all is the only mutating action. Run apply all after restoring an older backup, after migrating to a new server, after a script updater run that finished with failure status, or as a quarterly health check. Do not run apply all while a script updater run is in progress. The two pages share a lock. The UI will refuse anyway, but the rule applies to the underlying database too. After a script updater run, glance at schema check even if script updater reported success. Different angles on the same goal. The second catches anything the first missed. Now, how it all fits together. This page is a read-only diff plus a conservative apply, both backed by the same updater engine that powers the script updater. Signature verification, locking, manifest fetch, and audit log are shared infrastructure. Both pages write to TBL script update log with different version from Sentinels. Conservative is the safety contract. Create table if not exists and add column if not exists for missing pieces. Modify column only for safe widenings. Risky drift reported, but skipped unless you explicitly opt in. The page will never drop a table or column. If a destructive operation is ever needed for a future release, it ships as a one-shot SQL migration through the script updater, never through this page. The audit trail lives in TBL script update log. Filter on version dash from equals schema underscore check to see only rows this page produced. Closing. That is database schema check. 6 stat cards summarizing drift, itemized cards showing the exact SQL for every missing piece and every type change. An opt-in for unsafe drift, a run from command line escape hatch, and one big green apply all button. Conservative by default, comprehensive when you opt in. If your install ever throws a column not found error or queries slow to a crawl after a release, this is the first page to load.